I had to restart my live over. And not too people come on to view my channel because I'm new to this, but I really had to come on here and give some insight on something that happened in my life. Well, my friend, it um he had a out road rage incident around about, I say, a month ago, and all because he wouldn't let an individual get in front of him. And the reason being, he had no problem letting the person over, but the person thought he was just going to bogart, bitch, you gonna let me over? So, saying all this, the person, girlfriend, whoever she was, threw, the bitch threw something at my friend's car. So instead of him being, he was upset, but that day he was like, I ain't even going to feed into it. It's enough shit going on in this goddamn city. So he had, it was him, and here go one of our fur babies. The other one was with him too. Um, he pulled over. Thank God I bought a dash cam. But the thing is, I don't know how I'm gonna have to take it so somebody can look at it, because the video, it shows them on there. So they followed him. He pulled over and he parked thinking that they was gonna go on about his business. He ain't a punk, but he wanted to try to diffuse the situation. So, long story short, on the video, it showed them riding down the street, and then they backed up once they spotted his car. So they backed up, all this on video, and they pulled down, walked down. So my people's had his head down. He was texting me to tell me that he was on his way to get me. So, long story short, he heard somebody say, you think I'm a bitch? So he put his head up. The guy was walking to him. So he got out the car. The guy got his ass whipped, but the girl beat him in the head with a blackjack. Being as though his adrenaline was pumped about the boy getting his ass whipped. When he got to me and he told me what happened, I was like, let's go to the hospital. Let's go to the hospital. He didn't go. So, long story short, by him not going to the hospital, blood clots formed in his head. He ended up having a stroke from this incident. And being as though he has sisters and brothers and daughters, I called myself letting them know, look, your brother needs to go to hospital. He won't go. So, because if it was my brother or anybody in my family, I would want them to alert me, inform me, and let me know so I can get to him like, come on, we going to the hospital. So, thank God she did come, and she needed to know where I live at, and I let her know. But let me tell you, he gets admitted to the hospital. He kept complaining about his head hurt. But thank God that he didn't die. Thank God he did end up going to the hospital. His sister and his daughter came to my house to make sure. Well, the sister sent the daughter. So long story short, This bitch, and I will say bitch, she ended up restricting me from coming to the hospital, from seeing my man. She made up some lie, and it's all about wanting to be in control because she asked me about his wallet. She asked me about his wallet and his phone. Asked me, Gwen, you took the wallet and the phone? I said, yes. Why? Why not? We lived together 6 years. So I guess she feels as though that's her brother. She wants to have control over everything. Granted, she told the lie that whatever she told the doctors, I know what she told the doctors, but being as though my friend had the stroke and he can't talk for himself, you know, he can, when the doctors ask him to raise 4 fingers or 3, he does do that. But I'm praying that God lets him come to his senses so he'll know, where's Gwen? Where's Gwen? I'm not saying that they supposed to give me, the credit. No. But I will say this. First, God. Give all glory and praise to God. If it wasn't for God using me to call his sister, my friend would have laid up in my apartment and died. He kept complaining about his head hurt. And I don't try to doctor stuff. I don't have my license to be a doctor, license to, you got to do this, you got to do that. I said my first words all the time, let's go to the hospital. Let's go to the hospital. Let's go to the hospital. He became to where he was forgetting. So I called this sister and told him he need to go to the hospital, but he won't listen. So by the time she sent his daughter, called the ambulance, he went. They admitted him, like I said, but I haven't seen my boyfriend and going on, today makes 2 weeks. And I think it's really sad and fucked up that an individual would do something like that. And you can't say, well, what did you do to their family? Let me tell you something. I ain't do jack shit to the family. Never seen that lady till the day he got into that fight and she got off of work and she brought her ass down here for her brother, which is good. But I've never seen that lady a day in my life. For her to do me like this and I can't see him, I've never did him wrong. You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, my brother loved you because he got your name tattooed on him. That don't mean jack shit. But do I know he loved me? Yes, I do. But I think it's really sad and fucked up that she had it to where I cannot see him. And I know people probably say, well, you could have went around her head, over her head, da-da-da-da-da. I don't do drama. And I pray each and every day that God bring him out to where he will realize, where Gwen? Because he know I would be there. And now that he's not in the ICU, she got it to where you need a password to go in there and see him. Because she feel as though, okay, if a motherfucker want to get high, it's nothing she or anybody can say or do. But I'm going to say this much. This man is in there fighting for his life to live. And she wants to be downright disrespectful with malice in her heart towards me. So I just blocked all of them. Block all of them. You know, don't have nothing to do with them. And I can honestly say I have not did jack diddly squat to nobody in her family. Nobody. I ain't even know none of them. And truthfully speaking, trying to get to know your significant other's side of the family, sometimes it ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. But I jumped on here to share my story, and it's all about how petty. I can't even say they not even in-laws because I'm not even married to them. But how petty. I wouldn't even want to meet the other side of somebody's family. Because I always had problems when it comes to me meeting a significant other family members. You know, God got his hands on me. God loves me because anytime somebody would do that to me, and I hope she's a God-fearing God, because if she ain't, what goes around comes around. And I know one thing's for certain and two things for sure. He wouldn't have bowed down if my family did him like that. He wouldn't have bowed down and like, oh, okay, here. So I don't, like I said, I don't bow down to them now. When my knees bow down to God and God only. And that's all I had to say.